Brown. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. It's the Monday morning catch-up.
What? It's Wednesday.
It's Monday morning? It's not, is it? This is the Sunday morning catch-up. No, it's not. You know what it is? It's the Wednesday morning catch-up show. So we do one on the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday, and the Saturday.
We're going full week.
Oh dear, Ralph.
You had me right there, you did. You said Wednesday. What's this guy talking about? It's Wednesday.
We're doing catch-ups on every single day of the week now.
The week catch-up.
You need a big bottle of ketchup on this one. But anyway, we've got 3 segmented live news coming right back at you. Yeah. Something about a player was going to one club and now he's going to a different club. And like there's an oldie from Wales, the Boyle, he's been linked to them lot down the road. And other bits and pieces as well. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, as usual, we'll see you on the other side of this music intro. Yes, indeed. Good morning. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yeah, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, catch up.
The week-long catch-up.
A week long, man, guys. Yeah, I've got no more hair to lose. But anyway, guys, the first thing you can do now is just subscribe. Be part of the community. Yeah. The community is growing very, very quickly over here on Cannon 4A TV. So, Ralph, how is you, man? How is you?
Yeah, I'm good. Sleep is slightly trying to avoid me, I think, because the weather's been up and down. If I was going to give a normal voice of reason intro, the weather in Wales is rather blustery and rainy, but then a bit of sun come out, so I don't know. It's like 4 seasons in one day. But yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to whinge. I'm good. So yeah. So thanks very much for asking.
It's okay. You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right. First off the bat. Joe Willock. Oh my goodness! I thought he was supposed to be going to Newcastle. Anyway. Arsenal midfielder Joe Willock, according to Sky Sports, is on the radar of AS Monaco. AS Monaco are interested in signing the Arsenal midfielder Joe Willock. The Englishman revitalised his career after a while on a loan deal out with the Magpies. It was an incredible success story, really, scoring 7 goals on the bounce in 7 games. And so as the 24-year-old scored actually 8 goals in 14 games, helped steer the Magpies away from relegation. Now, for a long time, it looked like Willock was heading to the Magpies, but it seemed like there's another club that's entered the fold, and they too are wanting Joe Willock. You know what? I don't believe that news anyway, Ralph, man. I don't believe it.
You think it's paper talk?
Yeah, it's paper talk, man. Paper talk.
But then,
go on.
Do you think that Arteta's gonna want to keep hold of him then? If he's not gonna go to Newcastle, then has he got plans to keep
Ralph?
Willock?
I've got no idea what's going on at Arsenal. I have no idea. But Ralph, it's like what we say, Ralph, isn't it? It's like what we say. What we've always been saying is that we don't believe it until you see the player holding the jersey of the club that they're going to, or a player that we've been linked to coming to Arsenal holding the jersey of Arsenal. We don't believe it. And so at this point of talking, it can only be rumours and paper talk, Ralph. I don't know what Arteta has in mind. No idea, Ralph.
But I'm just wondering, I'm just hoping that for Joe Willock, his well-being, his mindset is that the fact that he's going to get first team place if he was to go back to Newcastle on loan. But then don't you think it's a bit of a slap in the face as well? Like, if you go out on loan, I remember, I'm sure it's, if it wasn't El Tal, it must have been James Rowe. So now when you go out on loan, the potential is that you go out on loan, you learn your craft to come back into the fold. So then you become a first team player. But if we're just loaning out players left, right, and centre, then it makes your position in the team, in the first team, your home team, maybe weak, because your manager's potentially saying, well, you know what, we just put him back on loan again. I don't recall any player for Arsenal in the past who would have gone from potentially playing in the first team to going out on loan, coming back, then going back on loan again. Unless I've missed out something, or one of our subscribers or viewers can verify that. But I don't recall any players going back out on loan again for a second season running.
Apart from William
Maybe to
Saliba.
be sold. Sorry.
Apart from William Saliba.
Well, yeah. Well, there we go. So we've got two.
Yeah.
In the same team, pretty much the same year. So what's going on?
Dearie me. Anyway, Joe Willock. I don't know where he's going. Maybe he's thinking, "Oh my goodness, where am I? Where am I in a parallel universe here? Where am I going to? Where am I?" Anyway, Ralph. Next segment is in regards to it's Arsenal. It's a Rambo. Yes, Tottenham. Apparently, again, this is actually coming from the Mirror online. Tottenham ready to make Aaron Ramsey their transfer bid to beat Arsenal to the signing. Well, listen, there's no way Aaron Ramsey, Rambo, is coming back to Arsenal. The report says Aaron Ramsey looks likely to leave Juventus this summer, and Premier League side Tottenham Hotspur are reported plotting a controversial move for the Welsh midfielder in the transfer window. Ramsey has struggled to adapt to his surroundings at Juventus. I'm not sure that's actually true. Started only 13 league matches last campaign, as the Italian Giants escaped a disappointing fourth place to finish on the last day of the season. His spell at the club could soon be over. However, as Italian outlet La Gazzetta del Sport have reported that Juventus are keen to get the £250,000 a week player off their wage bill. It's understood that Serie A side are demanding roughly 8.5 million for the services of Ramsey to be sold and given away to Spurs. They're not down the road. He couldn't, could he, Ralph? Could he end up at Spurs?
I hate to say I can't see it, but then them down the road, they probably said the same thing about Sol Campbell. So I don't know. He's got a lot of skin in the game, so he knows. He was one of the ones who didn't shake a fan's hand as well, didn't he? The fact that was wearing that. So those kind of feelings run deep, and I know that if he was to come back and play for them, he would get unlimited banter, unlimited. So I don't know, but then it depends. It depends on. I don't want to say yes. It could happen because we don't know what's going on in his mind. If he wants to be settled back in London, what kind of situation he's gonna. I would have thought maybe he got a better chance coming back to Cardiff City, but then that's where he started his career, and he'll still keep good links. I suppose it depends on where Cardiff City is standing at this moment in time as well, because I think I know Swansea just missed out on promotion to the Premiership. So him going back to the homelands, I think might be a more welcome scenario. But on the wages that he's on and the lifestyle he's living, potentially he could go to another London club.
Which other London club? Chelsea? All right, okay.
Chelsea.
Can't see him going to Crystal Palace. But then again, Watford, yeah? Not Spurs, Ralph. Not Spurs. No. Okay. Paper talk. Paper talk. And the last story that I'm kind of getting a little bit tired of talking about, Martin Odegaard, Ralph. Arsenal handed Martin Odegaard boost as Real Madrid ace wants to return, Ralph. Also been handed a major boost in the transfer window of Martin Odegaard, keen on a return. That would be music to Mikel Arteta's ears, who was desperate to land a playmaker following a successful loan period last season. Norwegian international joined Real Madrid in January after being shunted out by Zidane. But Carlo Ancelotti in charge. The initial signs were that Odegaard would remain at the Bernabeu to impress his manager. However, with Real looking to offload fringe players, the Gunners are prepared to capitalise, while the 22-year-old is keen on a return to North London. Odegaard, Ralph.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's paper talk. Purely because I think Arteta's already kind of got his midfield set up, or how he wants it set up. I can't see Odegaard. I mean, when was it? It's only about 2 months ago. You would say, "Well, thanks very much, Arsenal, and good night."
Exactly.
And then to do a massive U-turn and say, "Oh, actually, I would like to come and play for Arsenal." You know, something majorly must have gone on between him and I forgot the manager's name now.
Zidane or Ancelotti.
Ancelotti, yeah. I think Ancelotti said that how he didn't rate him. He's a very young he's a young boy in a man's game.
Did he?
I think he made some kind of comment like that, didn't he?
Okay. So then he's coming back to Arsenal, then, is he?
He rated him. I think Ancelotti rated him. So for Odegaard also to think, oh, actually, maybe I want to come back to Arsenal. It's in his hands too. He can request, I suppose, but he can't force a move back.
Why not, Ralph? Why can't he force a move back?
Well, I suppose he's still under the books in Real Madrid, so surely they would determine whether they want to release him or not.
Ralph. Anyway. So those have been the 3 news segments on this Wednesday morning catch-up. Not Sunday morning catch-up. Wednesday morning catch-up. Yes. I've got to give a quick shout-out to James Rowe and Eltel for the show we did yesterday. It was top quality. I was just saying, actually, before we went live, it felt a little bit strange having contributors back on. I know my brother's been with me doing the catch-up shows, but it was good to have other people contributing to the show. And boy, we've got a lot of comments, and we've got a certain request that I won't go into. But anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, give the live chat some time to kind of warm up and heat up on this Wednesday morning catch-up show. I ain't got no pepper sauce here, but let's see if we can heat this one up. You shake your head for Ralph.
No sauce either.
All right, so when we come back again, we'll go into the live chat and see who has joined us on this one. Okay, so we're back and we're about to go into live chat and see who has joined us on this Wednesday morning catch-up show. And I've got Amali who says her thoughts on Odegaard getting a permanent deal. Right, would you like Odegaard to come back to Arsenal? Would you like him to come back?
I must admit, no, when he played with us, he was all right. But the thing that the dilemma that we had was, although we played him and Emma Smith Rowe in a few matches, I remember you saying now we can't play two of them at the same time. It has to be one or the other. It'd be interesting to find out statistically how one would fare during those games to see who was the most effective, because they are pretty much similar players. I liked it when he scored. He scored in the Europa. I'm trying to think what game it was against or who it was against. And I was thinking, okay, well maybe it'd be really good for us to try and keep him. But with James Rowe's insight saying, now look, it is just a loan deal. Don't get too excited about it. I was kind of like resigned with the fact that, okay, well, we've got him. We'll see how far we can get. And he's going to go, so don't get too hooked up. But now if he does come back on a permanent deal, then maybe it may not be such a bad thing. Because at some point, Emma Smith Rowe is going to need, he's still young. He's going to need, well, they both are. They're both very young. So, players like that, I feel, need an enforcer to defend them, because they're going to go into tackles or they're going to get targeted a lot.
Yeah.
So Arsenal needs an enforcer that can protect them, but can also help the defense as well as the attack.
That's a good point, actually, because we don't have that enforcer type midfielder, do we?
No.
Partey's not an enforcer, is he? So.
No, you would think that with his kind of frame, that he can carry that kind of enforcer mentality. Not wanting to sound stereotypical. You look at Vieira. To me, Vieira was an enforcer. Bergkamp, as much of a midfield player that he was and a goal scorer, he was an enforcer. He can take a dig and he can give a dig back. What I mean? Yeah. So we seem to. I think that's the kind of steel that we need in the team at this point. So as well as it may be great to have Odegaard in, these players need someone to protect them. Look at Wilshere. Wilshere and Cazorla, because both of them great flair players, but when they got injured, it hurt the team massively.
That's a good point, actually.
I still feel that if we're going to have Odegaard, we need an enforcer player that will mess up the rhythm of the opposition, but will defend our flair players, so our flair players can have the freedom to hurt the opposition as well. Because that's what your enforcer does. He protects, it's great, whether it's a defender or mainly a midfield player. He's an engine on him, so he can defend, he can attack, it's a support attack. But if somebody leaves one on your flair player, you want your enforcer to go in and say, okay, I can do that as well, and then some. Yeah. And also it's got to be very tactical to talk to the referee as well, because the referees are pretty much snapping down a lot on the way that fouls are committed. So you want that enforcer to say, okay, ref, look, keep an eye on them. I remember, Vieira and King, two great examples on how they defended the team. They always left an impression on the referee's mind. And when you do that, the referee can be in two decisions of, hang a minute now, I did see that, and I was warned about it, so I can put a card up, and then that goes in your favour then. You know what I mean? So I think that's what Arsenal's missing. If we do get him, it'd be nice for him to come, but then we need an enforcer player to protect our player.
Okay. Good morning, Colin. Colin says, wow, Ralph is here today. It's a special Members Day, and I get a Ralph's jersey too. No, not quite. Not quite, Colin. Not quite, but it's good that you ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
But not today. John Wayne, welcome back, John Wayne. Greetings, everyone. It's been a long time. Connor Locke says Bentner did not. I'm not sure what you mean. Bentner.
Does he mean Bentner was sent out and then came back and sent out again? I don't know.
I'm going to try and decode that. Good morning, Alex and Raz, says John Wayne. And the assembled says, good morning, lads. Odegaard equals Ice Pocket Challenge. Well, moving on. This transfer window, Edo goes jet skiing, Arteta waffles, cranky promises, veteran models, a new kit. Xhaka and Kolasinac are ready to play. Aston Villa looks at us and their sister club. Be excited.
Fair points. Oh, so Edwin's jet skiing, is he? Whereabouts in the world is he jet skiing?
Oh, dear me. You know, when I read the report about it was on Monday, wasn't it? It was Monday, and the report is that the deal with AS Roma has come to a shuddering halt. And I read the report. I can't remember which outlet it was, and it was saying Arsenal preparing themselves to still have Bellerin and Granit Xhaka as first team players. I was thinking, can you imagine that, Ralph? Can you imagine that we still were having players?
Yes, I can.
Yeah?
I can imagine it, because that's what Arsenal do. Didn't I say to you, Alex, that Arsenal have to take a hit to let go of these players?
But what kind of hit rap was that? What?
They were asking. Arsenal was asking. Was it 20 million for Xhaka?
Yeah.
Was it about 20 million?
Yeah.
And so far the bid's going in at 17 million. Now, everybody knows that, you know, the way that the pandemic has hit the clubs, not just in this country but around the world. You know, you're talking about trying to hold on to something, you know, try and make your money last, so to speak. And you know what you're gonna, what kind of, when you sit at the table and you say to your opposite number, okay, so you want this player, the bid is 20 mil, and they say, okay, the bid's 20 mil. Is that 20 mil and we're done, or is that 18 million plus add-ons? And if you say, well, no, it's 20 million, then they say, okay, we'll come back to you. If they come back to you about 3 or 4 times and say, well, I'll tell you what, we come with a new bid, 17 million, you should just walk away from the table. You either do one or two things. You either walk away from the table, or you say, you know what, meet me at 18 million and that's it. And
but
I think
but you're saying to walk away from the table. You're saying that Arsenal should walk away from the table, or
I'm saying that, yeah, I think Arsenal should walk away from the table. If Arsenal's going in and said 20 million, come on, they go with 20 million, but there must be an agreement that, you know what, if we don't get 20, we'll take 18 or 19. Now, Roma's come in and said 17. Then you think, hang on a minute. You know, where's the negotiation? Push it, you know, get them to push up to 18. If it's 18, then sign it, seal done, deliver, walk away. But if you're still waiting for 20 mil and everybody else is not being able to come up with that money, because most of Europe, let's not forget, most of Europe, you know, look at Real Madrid, they're in dire straits. I think Barcelona is in dire straits. PSG is in dire straits. That gives you a message to say, okay, you know what, maybe we have to drop it down. I said this before. We have to take a hit. If we want to get rid of these players, we have to take a hit. Now, if 17 wasn't even considered, you've got to do one or two things. Either walk away from it, or you say, okay, 17, but don't drop it. If you drop it any lower, we will walk away from the table.
So let me get this right, Ralph. You said to me, you said that Arsenal have to take the hits I,
I
you
tell
know, whatever money a club, you know, the definition of taking a hit is whatever a club is willing to offer for our player, we just get the player off the accept the bid, accept the
yeah,
money that they're willing to give us. Is
yeah.
that not what you want?
But look at the side. It's a player, depending on age, depreciates. Okay, it's not like a car. A car, you take a car off the forecourt, it depreciates as soon as it's out of the showroom. A player does hold a value on we value them as assets up to a certain age. Um, Xhaka is not old. He's not. He's only what in his late 20s.
Yeah, 28, I think.
28, 27, 28. So his stock level is still whether we regard it or not, it's still an asset. But what I'm saying is, no one in Europe is going to pay top dollar. We paid what about 30 odd million, didn't we, for him?
Yeah, yeah.
We're not going to get that back, and we haven't got it back in. All right, we may have got it back in certain performances. But if you look at his metrics say something completely different. So let's put it this way: 20 million. Oh, it's dropped down to 17 million. You know what? I just want the guy off the books.
Exactly.
17 million done and done. Done and done. We're not gonna get that money that we invested in him back.
Mm.
We never do. This is Arsenal. We never ever get. When was the last time Arsenal sold a player at a profit?
Trying to think. But James doesn't think Arsenal should be thinking that way. Not many clubs think about a resale value, Ralph. Once the player's gone, they're gone. But I completely agree with Granit Xhaka. Take the hit. If they offer him £15 million, take the £15 million and just run for the hills.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs, have been almost to the edge of out of existence because of the pandemic. If they're offering £15 million, just take the £15 million. Bellerin again, between 25 and 30 million evaluated. If whatever Inter want to offer for Bellerin, just take it and just run for the hills. Because
sorry, and you know what's the glaring similarity with these two players? Obviously, they're playing for Arsenal, but they both said they want to leave.
Mm.
They both say they want to leave. So why are we still badgering about how much money that we're not going to get from them when we're at the table at the negotiation table? They both say they want to leave. Now, if they're going to be there for the season coming, it's gloves off. How dedicated are they putting performances in from what we saw from last season when they really don't want to be there?
Dear me, man.
Only Arsenal.
Yeah. Timina says, hi, Lex and Ralph. How are you both? Really good. Better than most. Thank you for asking. The Assemble says, the thought of the day. Newsflash, Arsenal loan Xhaka over 3 million, difference of opinion. I'm not interested in any kind of loan situation, man. Just get him off the books. Get him off the books. Both him and the aforementioned Hector Bellerin. Colin says, I also got that as well. The W man is back weighing in. Leave him alone. Any new players Arsenal have been linked with Alex and Arsenal? Yes, I've done a video. The video will be coming live at 1:30. 1:30. I'm not going to tell you the players, but yeah, that video, another player linked to Arsenal, that video will be live and direct on Channel 14 at 1:30 UK time. Yeah, I'm not going to give the player the name. All right. Anelka, we sold for a profit, Ralph.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Yeah. And that is it, isn't it, Ralph? That is it. In recent memory, who have we sold off on a massive profit? We could probably say Alex Iwobi, who was an academy player. The Ox.
Yeah, I was thinking. Walcott?
I can't remember. Fabregas. But in recent memory. Is that recent memory, Fabregas? I guess. No.
Yeah. It's only, what, about 2000 and... Was it 2010?
Yeah, I think so. Someone's just saying here, Giroud. Yeah. Anyway, some would say it's true. We saw Emi Martinez at profit. Yeah. Recent memory, absolutely silly in my mind, but true. Yeah, I'd far rather him being our number one goalkeeper than having to still process the fact that he is first Argentina's number one goalkeeper. Congratulations to him, and he's an Aston Villa goalkeeper player. Anyway, that's a different topic. What's happened with Ben White to Arsenal? I have no idea, Eric. I have no idea. There was some reports that he has come back. He came back 2 days ago, and he should be having his medical today. But do I have a vested interest in Ben White? I mean, if you saw the morning show yesterday, I saw on Twitter something about him talking to a fan, but I wasn't aware that he was actually talking to the fan and using like inappropriate language, which James actually brought up yesterday. But yeah, but in regards to him coming to Arsenal, the medical, I've got no idea. 10 years ago is ancient history in the premise. It is. That's a good shout, actually, Tim. You're right. 10 years, man. Oh, my goodness. The company says that if Xhaka goes on loan, he'll more than likely leave on a free. Yeah. And that's a never hit, isn't it? Never players just, yeah.
Yeah, we keep on doing that kind of nonsense as well. So, as I was saying, let's just take the financial hit, because at some point, I think maybe this might put Arteta back in the corner again, because let's not forget, when Xhaka and Emil Smith Rowe came into the side, it's purely because of injuries and suspension, and they shone like the beacon that they are. Of course, that they withdrew because of injuries again and trying to protect them. But we've got academy players. What is wrong with us trying to get some of the academy players that may be on loan into the first team? Why aren't we going into our own backyard and saying, well, hang on a minute now, why did we spend £50 million on Ben White? What's the justification? You can't be telling me that you've got an academy full of players that couldn't be in that position. They're clambering. They must be clambering the walls to want to play for us. And yet we go outside our own four walls or our stadium.
Anyways, it's just Tim's just kind of reminding me of something about 10 years ago. It's an ancient history in the Premier League. We did a poll yesterday, actually, in regards to club legends. Who is the club legend over the past 10 years? And the options, because again on YouTube, you're limited for the options you can put when you're putting out a poll. So these were the options which were mainly generated from a lot of the subscribers. Santi Cazorla, Aaron Ramsey, Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, Jack Wilshere. So I think this is the highest. That isn't. This is equal to the previous highest amount of votes we've had. Over 1,400 votes. Again, guys, thank you for this. Yeah, incredible. This time last year, we were thinking maybe 300, 400, but wonderful stuff. So in with 3%, Ralph. Again, who's been the legend over the past 10 years? Jack Wilshere, 3%, Ralph. 11%, I'm a little bit surprised at this. Alexis Sanchez. But I think maybe it's got a lot to do with the way that he left Arsenal. forcing a move away, and tied. 2 players tied on 12%. Aaron Ramsey and Mesut Ozil. And so you guys have voted for Santi Cazorla as the club legend whilst over the last 10 years. Wow. Do you have a club legend, Ralph, particular over the last 10 years?
Over the last 10 years?
Yeah.
I don't think I do, to be honest, because maybe this might be a bit controversial, what I may say, but to me, to be a club legend, you would have to have won the Premiership. You would have to make the your contribution made the team win the Premiership or a Champions League. We won FA Cups with those people mentioned, those players mentioned. But to me, a club legend, I think we're kind of like diluting club legends in this club. I feel that because we're hungry for our team to be successful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are linking them our players being a legend just because they've been at the club. For me, my standard is that, okay, you know what, my team, my club legend is a player that goes over and beyond to win a match at any cost. Fair means or maybe dark arts allowed, but actually made the team win a major honour. And it's not just FA Cups. It's the Premiership. To me, the Premiership is we always said when you're in the Premiership, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And if you can do it over your time at the club, then to me that means that you're of legendary status.
So, but look at Ramsey, who's helped us win. Was it three FA Cups? Would you not say he's a club legend for that feat that he did there? But it's very subjective. It's very subjective. I mean, how can you define a legend? And how can you frame that? Huh?
But we do it all the time, Alex. We do it all the time. We say, what a legend. He's a great player, great statesman, absolute legend. But if you have to, to me, if you have to do it in definitive terms, I had a conversation with one of the guys at work. I said to him that I give him his nickname. His name is Buller because he reminds me of a midfield player. He's still got that kind of old toughness in him. He's a Liverpool fan, by the way, as well. But we was talking yesterday, and we said that how there's no players at this at this moment in time. If you look at the Premiership, who has coming into the team as a youngster and stayed right throughout their career at the same team. You're not going to get your David O'Leary's or your Tony Adams.
Yeah.
There's none of these 400, 500, 600 appearances anymore. It's maybe 2 or maybe 300, and then they're gone to another team. Now
what happened again? Yeah.
Now, if I put the obvious legendary status, look at Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry scored 200 goals. He was with the club for about 5. Actually, he's a player who went out and came back.
Yeah.
And he came back, and he kind of like came back and took off where he left off.
Return of the King.
So that's what I'm saying. That's, to me, he's a legend because he's won stuff. He's an invincible. So you can't get any. He was either shot off the goalkeeper, a shot away from potentially winning the Champions League.
But remember that the parameters are over the last 10 years. So I think from what you're saying to me, that there's not been any. There's no players with legendary status.
You put in Aaron Ramsey for 3 FA Cups. If that's going to be your parameter fix, 3 FA Cups. I'm sure Cazorla was played in more than 3. or three at a time.
Yeah, he did.
So the poll pretty much said that he's top. But then the harshness, and I have to frame it in that kind of way. The harshness is, with those players, have we won the Premiership?
Well, of course not, isn't it, Ralph?
No, no. So we are defining players. We kind of downgraded the legendary status by saying, well, it's an FA Cup, but anyone can win an FA Cup. We've won it, 14 times now. Within that time frame of winning it 14 times, we should have won the Premiership at least 3 times with those players.
Oh dear. Static, who was on the show, like in a live chat yesterday, put out a startling stat that come the end of next season, Arsenal would have not won the Premier League in 18 years. I thought, my goodness, 18 years. Is it going to be that long? 18 years without winning the title, Ralph.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back in the match.
Just one other thing. Yeah. When you put it in those kind of definitive terms, 18 years, when you see the other teams that have won it during that time, our team was maybe equal, or maybe just it have to be below equal. Within that 18-year stretch. No, within that 18-year stretch, we could have won. We could have won it at least 4 or 5 times. We could have won the Champions League twice. James Rogue said yesterday, and I watched your podcast yesterday again. I've seen it twice now, because when James put this point in, it reminded me of I'm probably going to sound like a broken record. When Arsene Wenger did the double, and a news reporter, I think it was just after when we beat Newcastle in the FA Cup, the reporter asked Arsene Wenger, so what's next? Surely it's the Champions League. And Arsene Wenger said, we've got plenty of time to win that. And within that 20-year period, our rivals, who we regarded as also rans, have won it twice. The times when we used to be so far in front, and yeah, we can look at the Invincibles, and yeah, we're on our way. Look what's happened. We've taken our eyes so much off the ball. We've got an owner that hasn't said, you know what, I may be ruthless, but in order to make sure that we get this trophy, the Champions League, I want to make sure that Arsene Wenger has whatever is available to him, disposable to him, to get that, because that's the next level. That's the next level. And we sat back. We sat back on our hands, and we hoped in Arsenal we trust. And here we are, 20 years later.
We took it for granted, didn't we?
Yeah. Every year. Oh, you know what? When I heard Arsene said, "Oh, you know what? Top 4 is a trophy," I nearly threw the radio out the window. I was saying, "What do you mean? You got to compete. You compete to win." I don't know anyone in the Premiership or anyone whichever games. When looking at the Olympics, and one of the swimmers, he's from a family of 5. All his siblings said that how he was very competitive. That's what you do. That's what it takes for you to win. You have to have that steel. And we sat on our hands thinking, well, somebody else is going to do it. Yeah, somebody else did do it. It wasn't anyone in the team. It was our rivals.
Twice inside a decade.
Yeah.
Okay. Colin says it's first 4 games with fans at the stadium. Life is going to get difficult for Teta. Light with 2 points from 4 games. And Monty is in the house as well. Go on, Alex and Ralph. Come for your family. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here. The summary of our last 10 years is easy. You can be legendary for many things. So our last 10 years is Shaka.
Hmm.
Well, goodness. The Assemble says, Ralph, anyone that could be considered a club legend has to force their way out of the club by any means necessary, as Arsenal lack ambition. God, dearie me. It hurts. It hurts, But like you say, I remember when Arsene Wenger was, saying that, we'll have time, and before we know it, 18 years on, Ralph, haven't won the Premier League. 18 years. Well, it's going to be 18 years, but time flies. Time flies. Before you know it, you get left behind. Everyone's. It's not so much. Actually, it's a bit of we haven't progressed, and everyone has leapfrogged over Arsenal in leaps and bounds, and we're still stuck in the dark ages. Sorry, Ralph, go on.
I was going to say was when Arsenal came into the Premiership, and everybody knows this. This is like folklore. When Arsenal came into the Premiership, he changed. He lengthened our back four's expectancy. I say life expectancy, in terms of they were aging, but he kind of lengthened their physicality. He changed their diets. Everything that English, I say a typical kind of English team used to do. He brought the continental style of lifestyle, how you look after yourself, what you got to do, how you got to eat, and everything else, as well as supplements, to the Arsenal. And when you'd hear Ian Wright say that how when he used to go for England duty, the players from the other teams would say to him, "Well, what is it that Arsenal's doing that my team's not doing?" And Wrighty would tell him, it's supplements. I think creatine was one of the supplements that nobody really heard of until Arsenal put it in there. The way that you rather than when you eat to chew, but you're eating for protein. So then your muscles are ready to take that energy, so you last a bit longer. Every kind of training regime was looked at, scrutinized, and he improved it. The only thing was, Arsenal didn't know how to take it on to the next level after 10 years. Our rivals did that. They remodelized what we did, and they become successful through our model. And we're looking at them now. They're in front of us. We was in front, and now they're in front. So what's it going to take now for Arteta to say, okay, so the next level of our development is this? What is it that he's bringing to the table that's going to make us as competitive as our competitors? He's got a lot of work to do. And like I said before, the way that you, James, and Eltel had brought it down. Anyone who's looking in today, if you want to look at the channel, the blog from yesterday, take a serious look and listen to what James Rowe has been saying. We all want the McAdee's kind of version of the Premiership, but we have got McAdee's players, and we are at the table of a rather prestigious restaurant, and they don't do McAdee's. So we have to literally look at your defense, look at your goalkeeper. We've got a problem there already. Look at your defense. We had potentially one of the best young defenders, and he's out on loan. Look at your midfield. Someone may be coming in, someone may be going, but the youngsters, the academy players, are looking to see where they can slot in, but they're not being given opportunity. Look at your front players. Are we going to still keep on relying on Lacazette and Aubameyang when we've got other options available? So we're trying to put fires out throughout the whole team, and we're only a few weeks away now before our first match.
Oh dear! No, back into the live chat.
How did you play tonight?
Yeah, well, but it's the facts are laid bare there, aren't they? You talk about Mickey D's. It's like we want to dine at the prestigious restaurant in town, and we're trying to pay with Monopoly money. Well, excuse me, they don't accept Monopoly money. or the way we do business like monopoly type. No, we've got to be very serious with how we do and go about our business. 18 years and counting tells the story in itself that the way we've been doing business, whether it's scouting, the players that we get over, the wages, when their time comes to sell them on, we haven't been doing business quite, well enough. We don't deserve to, won the Premier League, Ralph. We don't deserve to be in the Europa League. We don't deserve to win the Europa League. We don't deserve to be in the Champions League. We don't deserve to win the Champions League because the way we've gone about our business. And then you look at Leicester City, and I asked a question to James yesterday, which club should we look at as a blueprint as how we should be going about our business? Leicester City, Ralph. Leicester City. It's not so much that, I think it's the two ingredients that we have regressed because the way we've done our business, and the clubs have just, they've leapfrogged over us. They've revolutionized the way business should be done, and we haven't. We're still stuck in our cages because we keep, trying to pick out and choose, the cheapest player out there in Europe, get caught up again doing the same thing with the Mesut Ozil situation. I tell you what, Aubameyang and the W man, that those two things there, those two elements, those two players there, is like a bomb waiting to go off because we never learn the lesson, Ralph. We're not astute enough. And we can talk about the owner. That is not going to change anytime soon, Ralph.
No, I know.
But what we can do is try and, again, how I keep banging on about the academy players, send players. I've just seen a tweet about Granit Xhaka has changed his profile or he's put a message on Twitter. It could be like now, Roma have probably and Arsenal come to some kind of agreement. But again, like I said to you last week, Ralph, Arsenal need to be proactive. Don't wait for that theatre to be played out. Be proactive and say, all right, the player, you've done this, call you in for a meeting, we'll speak to your agent, and we have taken the decision that we no longer need your services. So we can either buy out your contract or we can, you can have the choice to play for every other club, but not at Arsenal. That is ruthlessness, Ralph. But 18 years without the Premier League tells the story in itself, Ralph. The story's right there. We don't need to compare ourselves to them not down the road or Man City or Liverpool. Or the history, we can learn from the history. But, history works if you sit up and look at what history's been trying to tell us. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Have gotten us into this situation because we haven't been looking at what we've been doing over the last 17, 18 years. Anyway. Now, someone was putting. Oh, sorry. Actually, I didn't read Tim's comment. He said, "Ramsey always seemed to come up with the goods in the big games. Those moments make legends. Trophies are important too, of course." For me, his last contribution that I can remember, Ralph, was North London Derby when we beat them lot down the road, and it was like a scuffle. Was it in the first half or the second half? The scuffle, and you could see Rambo and that idiot player. Listen, I can't remember his name now. Tugging his top. Who?
Dyer. I think it was Dyer.
No, not Dyer. It was
I'm sure it was Dyer.
Nah. But anyway, for me, that was the last contribution, of course, that I can remember from Aaron Ramsey. Is he a legend? Legendary status? Possibly. Last 10 years, Ralph. Now, Gerard, what about Gerard?
Gerard is a legend for Liverpool.
Yeah, we're talking about Arsenal players.
But it was lost in translation, I think.
Yeah, Andrew G commenting out there in New Zealand. To me, that sounds the same. Pap says good morning. Monty says 44 Gunas here. Thank you for your time and interaction on this wonderful channel of ours. I've got some work to do. It says to me 51. Please, I'm David from Uganda. Please let me know about Ben White enjoying Arsenal. David, again, I can't repeat all the news. You know, if I had to respond to all the requests, we'll be here for like 2-3 hours. So you have to wait. We're gonna review the news again of this morning from Canon 46. But listen, we're just going through the live chat at the moment, so give me a few minutes. What else do we have here? All right, so Monty's just saying, check the merch in the description box and make a purchase if you're able to do so. You can donate a super chat, the button. I'm not going to make that sound effect because I know Ralph doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, so I won't do it.
You can do it when I'm not on.
Monty says, under Kroenke, the guy that cares about money and not trophies, the only manager to make our team compete with the big teams, Arsene Wenger. Willie, good morning. Says, morning, guys. Alex, you say we have not progressed, which you are right. But with all the young players, could this not be our time coming? Yeah, it could be. But so, go on, Ralph. You respond. You respond to this, Ralph.
Yeah, we got me almost tongue-tied. So far, it's all ifs, ands, buts, and maybes. If we play the right team, we could or we should be able to be up in the top 4. Now, Alex would tell you that I'm very competitive. I'm a very competitive person. And when I play to win. I play to win. I don't care what the odds are. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going out there to win because that's my old school makeup. Is that you don't play a game just to compete. You play a game to win. Now, Alex will tell you this. Alex is a better tennis player than I was back in the day. And I learned something that you can only become better if you play against a better opponent. Now, flipping it on Arsenal, Arsenal's been playing against better opponents all the time. But it's like they don't seem to comprehend or understand or use a tactic or strategic on the way to beat their rivals. Or they don't have the steel or the guts to have to fight when it's a cold night against, at the time, we've been Bolton Wanderers or Newcastle or Man United, Man City, Liverpool up north. The team is there's a lot of potentials, but it's getting the right combination. It's about getting the right mix, and it's about everyone supporting everyone. You can't have egos. There's always going to be egos in the team, but you can't have egos on the pitch. Everyone's got to be one unit. And I have not seen that with Arsenal for the longest time. I see it in maybe one-off games now and again, but it's not been consistent. And as Alex has just mentioned, if you want to look at where we are, look at the last 18 years. 18 years tell you the story. And again, I was just saying, my mate Buller yesterday, I said to him, I wish I was on the pitch with one or two of the younger players because I would kick them up. I would kick them up. I would elbow them. I would push them. I'd shake them because it's like someone need a good shake. It's like someone need you have to push them against the wall and show them or tell them, where are they? Who are they playing for? If you don't have that kind of physical toughness, then what are you doing? All you're doing is just picking up money. And you can pick up money anywhere else, but you can't do it here. You can't do it here, but they've been doing it here for the longest time. So the team is potentially young enough, should be wise enough. They know enough about the opposition. The opposition that they play is no secret. Everybody knows everybody. So you go out on the pitch and you go and play to win. Not, we're going to try and see if we can sneak a draw or whatever. You go out there and play to win. You play with no fear. One of the teams here in South Wales, the national team, the rugby team. What I appreciate about them, is that they don't give a damn who they're playing against. You come down to their end, and they give you a good game. They'll run you off the pitch if they have to, because they don't care. They play without fear. Arsenal at times play with fear in them. That's the difference about mentality. You can't go into a game fearful of what's going to happen. If you know who you are, if you know how strong you are, you play your game. You don't think about all this. Oh, we shake hands in the tunnel. I don't want to shake hands in the tunnel with you. You come to my pitch. No, I'm going to tell you who runs it. There's none of that in that team. It's all nicey, and we shake hands. Okay, maybe the UEFA or FIFA has to do that for certain events, but no, there's no grit. There's no toughness. It's all nice. So potentially, the team can go as far as they can go. But then it's down to the manager. It's down to him having a strong number two, and then it's down to the players. And Alex would tell you this. We keep up. I think actually we should be having some royalties with film 89, because the amount of times Alex and I always talk about 89. But there was Lee Dixon, who just came into the team. Tony Adams, Steve Bold, Winterburn pushed Lee Dixon against the wall and said to him, "Look, you don't understand. You're up north. You don't understand this. This is the team that we have to beat every time. It's not, we let them go off. What? No, we're going to beat them. It doesn't matter if we play at home or away, because this is the team that we have to beat." And that shook him, and he played well. Yes, there was no. You're on the edge of the cliff. You're either going to fight or you're going to fall. So yeah, potentially we've got young players coming up, but it's all about what kind of guts that they have when it comes to playing against a team. The Premiership is a known. We know who we play. We know what we're going to get against Man United, against Liverpool, against Man City, against Chelsea, against Everton, West Ham, so and so on. We know them. They know, but the thing is that we know them, but they know us, and they know that when they dig in, we don't fight back. That's what I don't like about our team.
All right. Andrew G says, my other message was deleted. I think maybe you deleted it, because I haven't deleted anything yet so far. I think saying you have to win the league to be a legend is silly. Well, Andrew, it's like I said before, it's very subjective. I mean, for a definition of a legend for me might be different from a definition of a legend for my brother. And clearly a definition for you as a legend is completely different from the three of us. So it's very subjective. So I wouldn't say it's silly. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. You know, my brother's set his framework for what he thinks should be a legend, and I would probably have different parameters. It's not silly. It's very subjective.
No, if I can respond to that, like you say, it is his opinion. Your legendary status and the way I frame my legendary status is going to be two different things. You know, Alex did say that the perimeter was for within the last 10 years. I don't know how old you are. I don't know, other than just from your comments alone. You know, I'm not gonna say, well, you know, you're silly for saying it's silly. That's just your opinion. But what I'm saying is, the way that we use legendary status, it seems to be a statement used a lot, because the expectation, for me, the expectation of being a legend seems to have gone down a degree or two. You know, are you saying then that, for example, one of my all-time heroes, Pele to me is a legendary status. George Best is a legendary status. Bobby Moore is a legendary status. If we want to bring it back to Arsenal, Tony Adams is a legendary status. Dennis Bergkamp is a legendary status. But then when you start going to the last 10 years, just using those as time frames, if you're going to say 10 years, then look at how legendary status from those legends compared to the legends that we have in the club within the last 10 years. Tell me if that's an equal parallel.
That's a good point, actually, Ralph. That's a very, very good point. Monty says a spanner was thrown in the works when Kroenke arrived. For a second, I was thinking a spanner was thrown in the works. And as I keep saying, things can't change till he's gone. Kroenke out, don't feed the parasite. Good morning, Dixon, who says, why is Arsenal's Arteta and Edu are so slow in their transfer operations? Well, they don't have much experience. That's for me, that's a major asset or facet that they're lacking there. They don't have much experience in dealings with the transfers. And again, it shouldn't be about transfers of players coming in. It should have been about players going out. You've been the manager, well, the coach, then the manager for best part of almost 2 seasons. So you know what stock we have. You should have identified them and gotten rid of them. Lack of experience. Levan J says, what's up, Alex and Ralph? Everything is good, man. Everything is good. Smash the thumbs up, the likes. Prosper says, I guess Kroenke's era doesn't deserve me. Okay.
I think that's a rather cute way of saying that within the time frame that Kroenke's been in, we haven't done much.
Yeah. Okay. Arsenal always are reactive. They never proactive. That's been the problem for the last 10 plus years. They can't get Aouar or Madison, but instead they are just after Locatelli. Why? I'll get on the phone to Arteta and I'll ask Arteta, what are you thinking, man? Monty says Santi Cazorla is a legend. Again, you know, I'm sure Monty's definition of a legend will be different from all 4 of us. So, yeah. Anyway. Golden, good morning, Golden says, thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. Arsenal needs some experienced players in every department of the team this season to be on the page. But Dixon, well, we've had experienced players over the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17 seasons. And yet we still can't get So we need to be doing something different. Have to be doing something different. Do you want to say something, Ralph?
No. Well, yeah, what you're saying is right. We've had experienced players. We've had experienced players from our rivals coming to the team and meant to help us, you know, win the Premiership. And as far as I was concerned, they're just coming for a wage deal, because as soon as they came and didn't get what they want, they got what they wanted, they went somewhere else. They went to our other rivals. So if you want to look at that as a kind of modicum of where we had experienced players, you know, it's kind of like I think we kind of like diluted the Invincibles.
Mm-hmm.
When the Invincibles, those players left, and Alex will know this, we didn't hold that same kind of presence. If you was in a tunnel with the Invincibles, you're talking about players that were like, average height was about 5'11", 6 foot. When we had the likes of Cesc Fabregas, Rosicky, Kleb, Flamini in the tunnels against our rivals, you're talking about the height was drastically down to like 5'5", 5'9", perhaps. We had no presence. We had skillful players because we tried to model the tiki-taki football that Barcelona had. But Barcelona at that time had Ronaldinho. And Ronaldinho, I'm sure, is 6 foot, I think. I don't think he's a small player. He's quite, you know, he's quite a skillful player.
Yeah.
You know, so we lost that kind of presence, and our rivals sensed that. Oh, you know what? I'm up against a really skillful player, Cesc Fabregas, but I'm sure if I give him a dig, you know, what's going to happen? And half the time, when our players did get a dig, we didn't really fight back because it was like small transformers against. Okay, the large monster trucks. You know what I mean? We just couldn't. We just didn't have. There was no one else who could fight our corner.
Oh, dearie me. With respect for Arsenal, I think Ben White is a steady signing who would give everything for your club. But your thoughts on why Arsenal didn't try and get Varane? They never looked like trying. I'm just thinking, why didn't we just use the assets that we already have that we bought 2 seasons ago? William Saliba. Didn't need to go back into the market and buy and spend £50 million. We've got William Saliba. Ralph, you're forgetting the cold Tuesday night at Stoke City. Tony Pulis.
Yeah, Stoke City was just either long throws or playing rugby.
Playing to their strengths.
Yeah.
Jamil says that Arsenal as a team needs to develop a winning mentality of every game, not sparing themselves. That's how we can win trophies. At the same time, keep in the Champions League. Prosper goes on to say, being an IT person, I feel the pain for all the diehard Arsenal channels like Cannon Fodder, because Kroenke is killing the numbers for everyone. Thumbs up to everyone here, because it's true hearts you show. Who else do I have here? We'll wrap up this one. One says, getting Ben White for 50 million and loaning out Saliba makes no sense, especially with McGuinness and Ballard waiting for a chance in the first team. £50 million, that doesn't need to be spent. Ah, dear. Don Arsenal, good morning. He says, hello. I passed on the details, your address to Ralph. You got the details, didn't you, Ralph? Did I see the screenshot from Monty as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I'll double check. Check, and then we'll go over those details. Yes, moderators.
Yeah.
Stand by.
This guy is so right. He's talking about you, Ralph.
I think he might be talking about you.
No, we really have nothing to look forward to for the new season, but we stay real and loyal to the club, and that's true. We've got to stay loyal to the club, irrespective of the players that will come and go. The one constant is Arsenal. Don also says that Arsenal will be the downfall of us guys. Talk for yourself.
Bro, you're going down. It's like that person is drowning, and they're going, "Oh no!" And you say, "I help you, but stop flailing." No. That's it, man.
Ralph, actually, before we wrap up this one, can you show everyone the top that you're wearing? It says, "Well, AFC." Oops,
you've got the AOC. Let's stand up a little bit. AOC, not PLC.
Yeah, there you
not
go.
PLC.
Yeah. Ah, dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Going on quickly. Andrew G says we are missing a real captain.
Well, hopefully, Tierney will get the armband. This is the thing. I love Tierney. You know, he shows that kind of fight and passion. But he's one of those players that need to be protected as well, because if there's nothing worse than having your captain come off the pitch or not available for some crucial matches. Tierney, if he can, I think he needs some West Indian food in him. I think he needs some to beef him up. It's a tough Scotsman, man. You need to eat some more porridge, and I think he needs some West Indian food as well, man. Just beef him up a little bit.
DS, my brother, says we can buy a captain on Amazon. Oh my days, man. There's just a few more before we are finished. Let's see. Something's up with my yeah, I need to sort out, because I know people keep saying, but your mic sounds so low, so I'll need to sort it out. I need to probably buy a new mic anyway. Forget Ben White, go and get a proper defender leader. Chile. Oh my. God, dear. There's a captain and a half for you. God. I think he probably have to have a say with Mikel Arteta and say, you know what,
Oh,
actually, Arteta, get rid of the squad. They're
yeah,
not strong enough.
yeah. No good, no good, no good, no good.
Oh, dearie me. You know, guys, we'll come to an end on this one. Come to an end. I know there's a lot more comments in the live chat, but if I had to read all the comments, we'll be going for another maybe half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. But what I am going to say is a thank you for everyone tuning in. The numbers again were astronomical. I don't know how to spell that word, but yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful stuff. I thought, you're going to spell the word, Ralph? Astronomical.
I just got to the Astro part. And
I got to the end. Oh dear. All right. So let's finish on this Wednesday morning catch-up show. Any final words, Ralph?
yeah, I did say that I'm going to do a competition for subscribers and viewers. I will do that once I've cleared the details for the moderators. I've got your details, guys. So I'll be sorting that out. So just look in the post soon. Once I've sorted the moderators, then there will be a kit for a subscriber or a viewer of this channel. So more details to follow. So just bear with me. But yeah, I think that it's good for us to reward our our moderators because they do fantastic work. And it's not easy. It's what I'm doing is easy. What Alex does is not easy. So I applaud Alex and the moderators for what they do. But then also it's good to also reward our subscribers and viewers because without you guys, you know, we'd just be two guys, balding guys, talking about Arsenal and airing our views. But you know, we appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch us. So bear with me. There will be a competition on the way within the next couple of weeks, and then we'll get that sorted as well.
There you go. So it's the voice of reason. The voice of reason has had his piece. All right, guys. So that's it. I'll be back tomorrow morning, giving some more live news. 3 segments of live news. I've been like playing it above and beyond, like 4, 5, 6. But you know what? 3 is just about enough. Just about 3 is a magic number. Anyway. What? The best thing or the easiest thing that you need to do now is just make sure you subscribe to Cannon Freud TV. Just do it now. Just do it now. I actually forgot to tell Monty to put his link in. But anyway, it's done. It's done and dusted. But I'll be back tomorrow morning, giving you some more live news, coming right back at you on this wonderful channel, which is Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.